Guess what day it is? Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Anybody? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Hump day, hump day, hump day.
Hey guys, and welcome to this week's episode of Lifting the Veil with me and my good friend and brother in Christ, Franz. Welcome back, Franz.
It's good to be back. It's good to see you, Jason.
Good to see you too, buddy. How you been?
I've been well. Getting a little better. I don't think I mentioned it to you, but the Monday before the last show we did, the last bi-weekly show, I doing a little work on a lathe, and the spindle cut the file, slammed me in my hand.
Oh.
So I was a little bit for a day or two, the swelling was really big, and I couldn't tell if I tore something or broke something, but I've been healing nicely, hands back, so, but.
Well, that's good, man. Yeah, those things are dangerous, bro.
They can be, yeah.
I remember I used to work at that Findings Jewelry Company, and I used to have to take this, like, guitar string, it looked like. And it would just spin around this little wire, and you'd have to, like, move your hands down, like, as it's making, like, a little spring. And then one time my finger got caught in it. And it starts wrapping around, but there's, like, an emergency shutdown button, to stop it. Dude.
Yeah.
If I hadn't hit that thing just in time, that thing would have spun my finger right off, I swear.
Yeah, it's you don't think about what kind of damage it could do. So I'm kind of lucky that it didn't go through my hand or take a digit out. So
yeah,
working with
sweet shirt, bro.
Awesome.
I just noticed your shirt.
You recognize that? Yeah. So we shall not.
Yeah.
Be,
for we are not ignorant.
Yeah.
Classic.
For you watching, that's a custom-made T-shirt by Jason.
Classic.
So, James is here. It's good to see you, James Smith.
Hey, James.
Thank you for showing up again.
Welcome, buddy.
So, excuse me. So, as last time we were on, we wound up freestyling, spitballing some news instead of doing my normal presentation. I kind of finished that up, and after talking to Jay last time, I felt a little more confident doing this. But in between then and now, I kind of took a break from presentations and everything, and I took my own little journey. I started to tell Jason about it. It's not particularly relevant to my presentation, but it's a little bit of what was going on in my headspace the last couple weeks. I took a little side journey, so I'm just going to quickly run through that, and then we'll get into the presentation.
Yeah, man, do it.
Entire screen. I'm getting to share my entire screen. Okay. So I was starting to tell Jay, I think I mentioned it a few shows ago, that, I've been digging around and looking through stuff to build my personal library, my book collection. Turned into a bit of a bookworm. But so I wanted a book, a Bible from the 1800s, and now I have a few. But in my little journey of discovering that, from our local states, Jason and I, New Hampshire and Vermont, I found a publisher really close by, and discovered it from Brattleboro, Vermont, which is not too far from me. And they actually had a publishing company, and it's called the Typograph Company. It was founded in October 26, 1836. And the last name of the gentleman, the publisher, is Holbrook. So that's where the company comes from. Right. And that led me into that was on the first page, right? And then I saw that it was in Brattleboro.
Is that place at the intersection there?
Yes.
Like if you're
I
coming
do believe
from
that's
Keene and you go around the Rotary, you just go to the right there, and it's like right on your right.
I think so.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, because I know. Yeah, I know. There's a
So
publishing
this
place right
this
there.
guy had to do with the retreat as well. He was a founder in the retreat.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But before I go digging into this huge rabbit hole, so I was excited that it's from my state, from a town close by, and I could physically complete the circle, the journey of this Bible, and go to the town and maybe read a page out of it. It was just my own, something cool, I thought. And then I went back to the book and I read the page again, and I get this guy named William Jenks. He was a reverend, right? And he's from the Boston church, right? And he died at the age of 88. And he was born in 1778. Just numbers that are matching along with everything.
Yeah.
All right. So I was like, wow, that's really cool. Green Street Church in Boston. So I looked it up, and I get different buildings where it used to be, but it was a neighborhood in Boston, which is a neighborhood. It still is a neighborhood, and it used to be, I had to dig in the archives, but it used to be just like a tavern type house you would see from the 1800s, not an actual cathedral, in a neighborhood called Hingham. So I thought that was cool. It was edited by a reverend, right? And he had a church in Hingham, Boston. And Hingham, to me, sounded very UK, which it is. It's a town in Hingham, in England, right? Norfolk, England. Well, that's pretty interesting. It's in Norwich, right? Post town, Norwich. That was familiar. So I was looking what's close to Hingham. Within an hour, it's within an hour from Cambridge, where this reverend actually went to school.
Oh,
he came from it. Yes. And also, it's near the Fitzwilliam Museum.
Whoa.
Pretty cool, huh?
That place is serious, huh?
Yeah. So it matches all the architect we've been talking about. Has the display on the triangle, but Fitzwilliam is a town in New Hampshire as well.
Yeah, that's not too far from here.
No, I thought I went, around the world, and I come back to Vermont and New Hampshire. So,
except they ain't got no museums like that.
No, inside this museum, right, is ancient Egypt, right?
Oh yeah, look at
which
that.
We've been talking about a lot. Yeah, and artifacts from ancient Egypt and Ishtar. And has that huge stone with what mainstream will now post. You see a lot of talking about the Anunnaki, right? But it's actual Mesopotamian, the Sumerian gods.
Yeah.
So that was my little trip in the last week, just from a book I bought, a Bible, actually.
Oh, that's cool, man. It's cool that you're able to trace it back,
Yeah, it's not always online.
No, it's cool. It's cool that it started out right down the road.
So, before that, thank you for putting up with that. Side venture. I saw somebody showed me a meme the other day. It had this cat sitting on a light that's in the ground, so it was just illuminating the cat.
Yeah.
and the caption was, "If I learned anything about video gaming my whole life, is that this cat's got a side mission for me." So that was kind of my cat on the side mission.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was just telling Jay too what a great show he just posted.
Yeah,
What's the title of it?
A lot of good info in there. I wasn't
about
even
the
going to
horse.
make the show, so it was prompting by people in the Bible study.
Yeah, I was there. I was seeing that, and I thought that was, pretty cool. Good fellowship,
Yeah,
and
for
it turned out to
sure.
be a really good show.
Yeah, no, once I started digging into it, I was like, oh, I'm so glad I've dig into this,
There's so much,
Yeah,
stuff.
a lot of connections.
So I have a lot of information, and I go jump around a little bit, but I'm hoping I can be able to explain it. And there's going to be certain things that I'm not particularly going to say too much about or directly. You're going to have to watch the screen or read. And we're going to start off in one area, and we're going to jump around and come back to it. And I'll explain as we go. So we've been talking a lot about numerologies and shapes and symbolism, and how it's all occult. It's all on purpose and in your face. All right. So I'm gonna start with a definition of trapezoid. All right. Trapezoid, as we know, it's a plural noun. Trapezoid. The British call it trapezium, right? So it's a quadrilateral with one pair of parallel sides. And a British trapezoid is a quadrilateral with no parallel sides. So it's parallel sides regardless. Some say a parallelogram is not a trapezoid because it has two parallel sides, but the actual word definition of a trapezoid is at least one set of parallel.
So it's just like a off-base square, right?
Correct, and it will have a degrees total of 360 degrees.
Yeah.
As a square, right?
Yeah, I think I covered that shape in my Number of the Beast video.
I believe you're right. You're absolutely right. So it's going to be a little bit. I'm just going to show you where these rituals and these shapes and these numbers can take place. So the Greek definition or root of trapezoid is trapeza, which means table. Right. So here are some synonyms of trapezoid. Trapezium, irregular quadrilateral, tetragon, rhombus, square, parallelogram, and an oblong. A trapezoid is a four-sided polygon with no opposite pairs of parallel sides. The parallel sides of a trapezoid are called bases. Non-parallel sides are called legs. Parallel sides can be horizontal, vertical, or slanting. In British English, a trapezoid is known as a trapezium. And it comes from the Greek mathematician, writer, Euclid. Right? He wrote 13 books in 300 BC. 13 books on the elements and the mathematics. These are just basic shapes comes from those 13 books and his descriptions of mathematics.
Yeah, now we're getting into like Metatron.
Absolutely. So basically a trapezoid is a simplified cube. And here's more formulas of the trapezoid and the dome, triangle, circle, square. They're all related. It all comes from those 13 books from 300 BC.
Prop 17. Whoa, what's that?
Oh, yeah, Prop 17. Yeah, sorry, I just wanted what you're talking about. So, There's a paradigm grind, right? This site. He writes. It's a writer. He was writing about trapezoid, and this is taken from the Church of Satan. It's blown up specifically so you can see the inside of the 5-point star is a pentagon. The outside is a pentagon, and it's all inner of a trapezoid. These are all considered trapezoid, minus the pentagon. Pentagon can be inside of a trapezoid.
So a trapezoid can have more than 4 sides?
No. Well, anything defining is at least one set of parallel lines.
Okay. I failed geometry, if I even made it to geometry. I don't remember.
I did okay in geometry. Algebra, I struggled with, but now I do trigonometry and algebra, but I can't tell you the formulas. Either way. So the point is, in the world of Church of Satan, Synagogue of Satan, and magic, sorcery, spell casting, shapes, and a trapezoid is very significant. Right? The satanic trapezoid.
Oh, wow.
And Anton LaVey, he started the Church of Satan. He was one of the ones that started it. He is a predecessor of Aleister Crowley, who I've started to talk about in a previous show. All right, so here's a quote from Anton LaVey. Now the crystals clears and the angels are seen as angels. Angels as angels. And the windows to the 4th dimension are thrown open. And to be frightened, the gates of hell.
Yeah, so that would give that really puts some meat on the bones of the old sacred geometry, Metatron's cube, like.
Absolutely. So they think that the angles are is where they get the information, or spoken. Is the angels.
Well, that would make kind of sense, right? Because it's symbolism.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But like I was starting to tell you about Aleister Crowley. In 1904, he's when he started writing his books. Is when he, talked to his entity.
Oh, Lamb.
AYS or whatever. Can't remember. I can't think of it right now. I mentioned it somewhere in here, but either way, this is a medallion for rituals. Right. This is the 3rd and final recreated order of the trapezoid. And there's an actual order of the trapezoid, and this is a medallion based on the original magical medallion worn by Dr. Anton LaVey.
Wow.
Excuse me. All right, so on that, the site, the Church of Satan, you can order this. You can get your replica.
Jeez, I'll have to go get one.
Yeah, I think we all should.
Oh my goodness, that's wicked looking, dude.
Isn't it?
Oh, but I can see so many people nowadays wearing that as jewelry.
You see how it's the trapezoid, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then if you look at the upside triangle, which doesn't come to a point because it looks like the Buick.
Oh, yeah.
Pontiac. Sorry.
Yeah.
So LaVey himself wrote about the power of the trapezoid to bend time, space, and consciousness towards paths of nightmares and hellish revelation. You can read more about the order of the trapezoid on the Church of Satan website. I don't recommend it, but
yeah, me either.
There it is. So here's
hold on though, before you move on, man. Can you go back for a second?
Yeah.
So it says that he wrote about the power of the trapezoid to bend time, space, and consciousness towards paths of nightmares
Paths of
and
Nightmares.
hellish revelation. Like, why would anybody want to do that? I just,
Why would
I don't understand the logic behind this dude at all. Like, I mean, I get he was like this big Satanist, but why would you want to like bend time and consciousness toward nightmares and hellish revelation? That doesn't sound like a good time. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely not. But in their belief, you had to go through that to be enlightened. You know that it's backwards.
Yeah, that's pretty awful, man. All right, yeah, I just wanted. That's all I really wanted to say. That was pretty crazy. It said that the 6 witches would stand around the pentagram.
Yeah, I can see that. So, like, this stems from Masonry and Druid, witchcraft, magic. So, yeah, absolutely. And together, those 6 witches would form inside the trapezoid, right?
Yeah, pretty wicked stuff.
So Aleister Crowley, this is his handbook of geomancy.
Yeah,
He signed it Baphomet.
of course he did.
And if you turn the book sideways, you'd say this is the three crosses, right?
Yeah.
There's also a book by Aleister Crowley, or actually it's by Nigel Pennick, who's, I'm sure, a follower. You wouldn't be writing about this, but it's called Creating Places of Power. Geomancy. That's the point of geomancy. They're building rites and electional astrology in the Hermetic tradition.
Yeah, hermeneutics, those are all based on Hermes.
Hermes, right? The 7 principles.
Yeah,
Hermes. And what your show is just talking about.
Yeah,
Hermes,
yeah. Yeah, straight up wickedness.
Right, and what you were pointing out in your show was that it's rituals.
Yeah.
Spellcasting. And I'm going to show you more of it.
Yeah. Cool.
So here's a little description of electional astrology. Excuse me, sorry. It is also known as event astrology. Astrology is a branch found in most traditions of astrology, according to which a practitioner decides the most appropriate time and event based on astrological auspiciousness at that time. So do you understand? They decided this is super important because of the numbers.
Yeah.
Because of the shape near this number. The name of the person involved all corresponds. I think, Jason just went into great detail in his last video about that. Right? And the history of this is a rudimentary from electional astrology from the use of Babylonians, 16th century BCE, and other Babylonians were passed through Egyptians and Persians. And so this isn't new, nothing new under the sun. Right?
Yeah, that's old stuff.
Sorry, the traditions of Babylonian, Chinese, Hellenistic, Hindu, Islamic, Jewish, Tibetan, and Western traditions. I don't know if you ever heard of this book.
Oh, that's the secret word, man.
That is the secret word. Thank you very much. You have heard of it. Mahabon.
Yeah.
This is a secret book that is of the Freemasons. You have to be a certain degree to learn the secret words, and I'll give you the sugar-coated I haven't done the 32 degrees to get the exact, but I can give you the close to what I know, what can be found. So this is part of their secret word, their secret handshake. Maha Bone. Maha Bone is a handshake name in Masonry that is made up of the Hebrew words Maha, what the, bone, or builder. What the builder. The symbol has two main aspects, revelation and the fulfillment of that revelation. It means great gate and signifies that anyone can approach the gates and find the mysterious mysteries of the craft. So I want you to focus on that they're builders, they have their secret, there's a handshake, right? And it's a great gate.
Yeah.
So these things and their rituals and the electional astrology, these things are significant in the symbolism. Mahabone is a powerful symbol. It's one of the most powerful symbols in Freemasonry. It is a symbol of solidarity and unity and is a reminder of the universal brotherhood of all Masons. This is the sugar-coated version. And so it comes from the Bible associated with the entrance of Jacob into the house of the Lord. Excuse me. So they tell you it's the secret word, it's a secret handshake, and it comes from when Jacob, entered the house of the Lord. It's refers to more of the story of the Solomon Temple, right? And Hiram Abiff. Solomon hired Hiram to build the temple and the gates and the pillars, and everybody was so awe-inspired by the beauty of this builder who created this, not Solomon. Solomon had other lower-level masons murder Hiram and then had them publicly punished or murdered or, executed for the murder of Hiram. So basically, it goes along with the principle of creating chaos to make it look like they created order.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom was just talking to me about this week about Hiram Abiff and Solomon and stuff. We were just talking about that. That's so funny.
Yeah, funny because the other day when I came in and said hello in Discord, I saw Ma Dukes left a message that mentioned something about the pillars.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, well, funny you say that.
Yeah.
It's already in here. But yeah, I wanted to say something, but I didn't. But yeah, it's just another one of those things that, regardless of the distance and the silence, somehow we're still near the same things,
Yeah.
So Mahabone, this is the real grip of the master mason's handshake. The masons firmly grasp the right hand of the fellow mason. The thumb of both hands are interlaced. Right? And the first mason presents the tops of his fingers against the wrist of the fellow mason. So he's grabbing his wrist, right? He's grabbing right this part of his hand. And it asserts dominance. It's a secret handshake. It says, hey, I'm a higher degree than you. But it's the point of saying, I'm a Mason, you're a Mason. It's a brotherhood thing.
Aren't we just the coolest? Look at our handshakes, man. We're cool.
So keep everything in mind because it's all going to come.
Yeah.
All right. So in my injury in my hand, I told you it's going to come in. Right? I discovered, and do I just have some ligament or do I have a bone? It sure felt like something was misplaced. And if I would say I would have hurt this bone in my hand. But looking at the bones, the number of bones in the hands, I realized, of course, there's a trapezoid bone. and a trapezium. So you have a bone. When they're handshaking, they're grabbing their trapezoid. They're shaking each other's
yeah.
little table, altar table.
Yeah, even when they do the other handshake, they press on this little spot right here with their thumbs. Like, that's what the Pope does. He shakes hands like that. He'll, like, shake your hand, but he'll press on it's a weird. He'll, like, press on your hand right there, yeah.
So they're somehow pointing out or touching or pointing, doing something to the trapezoid. It's all symbolism, even their little handshakes, and politically that you always hear about who has a stronger handshake, who does the handshake the best, So, all right, now that we've gone through that, take a deep breath, keep it all in mind, and we're going to start this journey. So these are all, see, here's the Pontiac. I pointed that out, right?
Yeah.
These are all manufacturers of a mode of transportation that have stars, 5-point stars in them. These are all manufacturers. Right? Here we have a pentagon with a 5-point star in it, right?
Yeah.
Same here. So I'm going to use mode of transportation for other modes of transportation from here on out. So
Got it.
when I say that, you're going to have to pay attention to the screen. So this is going to lead into the 5-point star in the circle of Satan, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, here we are. We're all familiar with this building, right?
Yeah.
So this plays into what you were talking about with 15 and 555, right?
Yeah.
So this is not only 5-sided. There's 5, if you count them, 1,
Yeah, it's 5
2,
deep,
3,
right?
4, 5, right? And you know how many acres the center court is? 5 acres.
I was
5 acres.
5? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's how big this popular building is, right? Because the inside is 5 acres. And there's 5 above ground floors.
There's 5 levels?
No. There's 5 levels, yeah, above ground. 5 floors, 5 sections, 5 acres inside.
I'll bet there's 5 below ground, too.
But there's a lot more than that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a whole lot of 5 going on. You think it's just 5, But think about the people who work in here, right? You kind of have to be in the military too, right? So you have 5 5-pointed star generals. You have to be a 5-star general to work, to be, appointed in the Pentagon building. You have 5 floors, 5 acres inner court, and they're all 5-star generals. So you have all these 5-star generals running around the 5 floors and the 5 layers.
In the Pentagon building? I mean, the Pentagon?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's pretty crazy. How many sections is that? Let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. 55, bro.
Yep. And then the whole complex sits on 11 acres.
Yeah, there's your 101. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, man.
So now we see the same thing in the street layout. We showed you this before, right? In Washington. This is the White House. Here you have your Pentagon, and then your pentagram, your 5-point star, your 55.
Yeah.
So it's not just the building; it's the street. It's in the layout, right?
Oh, in Washington?
So
Yeah, dude.
that is Washington, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff in that layout.
So it was a $83 million project that was approved by the Congress on August 14th, 1941. Groundbreaking for the Pentagon took place on this date, exactly 60 years before.
Oh, wow. Go figure, dude.
So the
That makes
Pentagon,
sense.
doesn't it? Okay. So the Pentagon has the trapezoid around it,
Yeah.
right? So even though we're looking at 5-point stars and 5-point shape, that doesn't have parallel, just trapezoids. There's trapezoid meaning in it.
Look at the year.
Did you see the year?
Yeah.
In
4 plus
1941.
1 plus 1 is 6 and 9. There's your 66 on 9/11. That's crazy.
Exactly 60 years.
Yeah, that's nuts, dude.
All right.
Good fun.
Do you know who worked in the Pentagon? Right? This guy, Theodore Olson. Do you know when his birthday was? Born Sep 1/1/1940. 1 year before the groundbreaking of the Pentagon.
And who is this guy?
He was the 42nd Solicitor General for the United States in 2001.
Okay.
So on that day of his birthday, do you understand where I'm going?
Yes,
He was
sir.
right in command at the Pentagon with the president, under the same president. This guy, who was the class of 1948 at Yale and part of this special fraternity.
The Death Squad.
All right. So guess who that guy's wife was, right? So here we are. It's his birthday. Right? He was in office on June 11th, 2001, under G.W. Bush. He has a wife named Barbara Olson. She died that year, 2001. Who is she? Barbara Olson, American lawyer. She was on Fox and CNN. She was the first one to make a phone call from a mode of transportation 77.
So, is that one of the planes that was like?
It is one of the, yes,
So,
absolutely. It's the one that actually hit the 5-story,
Oh,
5
okay.
layer.
Gotcha. So that's 77. That's 7/11, which is. That's right.
Right. Yes, exactly. Right. And she was born December 27th, 1955. 55 again.
Yeah.
She was married to the guy who worked for the president. She was the first one to make a phone call from the plane.
Bro, she was born in December 27th. That's, yeah, 55 is the Satan, 19 is the Metonic cycle. But 1 plus 2 plus 2 is 5, 7. 5G. Wow. Yeah, see, this is why I'm always trying to tell people, like, the numbers are so important to look at because there's this wickedness all over it.
So when they were laying the cornerstone for that 5-story building with the 5-acre courtyard,
Yeah.
this was already planned.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's crazy. Wow.
Remember, Barbara Olson fought for her life until the plane. She was on it right here. She was the first one to make phone calls.
Yeah. Wow.
And I've been talking about Aleister Crowley, right?
Yeah.
And it's called Kabbalistic, 'Kabbalistic, 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 ' Right? So we have, I already just pointed out, a mode of transportation for 77, right?
Yeah.
Right. So here is another mode of transportation on that day, 93. There's 44 deaths on 93, and crew was 7.
44 and 7.
So I pointed out in this other book from Aleister Crowley from 1904, when he was talking to the dark entities, that XC3111 is 93. Right? The word of the law. Thelma is the religion that they created, and Aiwass was the dark entity he spoke to.
Wasn't that what they called their god in Avatar?
93. Oh,
Awa,
Aiwass?
something like
I
that?
think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to do that. So, it is common for the Thelmites to greet each other with 93 in person as well in opening and closing writing correspondence. Meaning like an email starts that way, or a letter they wrote to each other and it's mailed. Starts and ends with 93. The custom derives from Aleister Crowley's guidelines, and the Thelmites should greet each other with the law of Thelma by saying, "Do what thou shalt, shall." Right? It's be the whole of the law. Since in saying the entire law can be cumbersome, using 93 because it represents those two words that represent that, it has become a shorthand. So that mode of transportation and the amount of times they threw it in for that day, they're giving a shout out to this guy.
Yeah.
And all the other. All right. The primary terms in these statements, will and love, respectively, using Greek techniques, isophysi, which applies to numerical value to each letter. The letter of word Thelma, will, and agape, love, each summed to 93.
Well, that gives some new meaning to 93.
Right? Okay, so let's see. It was this mode of transportation, 11, that happened to hit the north at 9:03, 93.
Yeah.
The second mode of transportation, 17175, hit the south at 93.7. 93.777.
So the second one that hit the south, big boy.
175.
Yeah, that's 58.
Mm-hmm.
937.
There was also another mode of transportation, 85, that was just followed by other military vehicles and never actually taken down because it didn't come to be a threat. That 85 was headed for NYC as well, but it didn't. We didn't need it. The ritual was,
Completed.
completed. Absolutely.
Like, don't worry, we got 175 there, so our 58's taken care of.
93 and 11 did great.
Yeah, you can turn that around.
Yeah, I mean, it's not funny, but it is. It's because it's so right in your face.
Yeah.
All right. So where does it come in from? Trapezoids? Well, here we go. I outlined a trapezoid. This trapezoid-shaped building is Solomon Encore, the new Solomon, the modern Solomon. Do you know what building that is?
No.
Does it look familiar? But the map's probably small. But here's Solomon Encore. It's the trapezoid. It's by the modern Solomon brothers. And building 7.
Oh, yeah, the other one that got hit. So with the two tall boys, they make 11.
Mm-hmm.
And then building 7, there's your 7-11.
What are the two pillars in Freemasonry at the Solomon Temple?
Yeah.
Boaz and Jachin.
Something, yeah. I always forget that one. I was just reading about them too, actually.
So you know who owns number 7 in the Solomon Temple or trapezoid? It's a guy named Larry A. Silverstein, born May 30, 1931, exactly 70 years beforehand. He has real estate projects. He is a developer, and he rebuilt it, right, in Lower Manhattan. So he rebuilt 1776. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Weren't one of those buildings bombed like back in the day?
It was a truck underneath, or it was trying to get in the basement but didn't make it. Yeah, that was like, I want to say in 93. I would almost say it was. I mean, that number is on my head, but I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I don't remember. I just thought I remember it being attacked before.
It was, and it was actually evacuated a little bit quicker, but off subject. So here's Larry Silverstein. It's American business, and it's a real estate. He rebuilt WTC. He was born in Brooklyn. He owns Silverstein Properties. And he's business partner in 1977. He has bought a number of large buildings in Midtown. He's the one that constructed Building 7.
This guy.
He's the one that benefited from the insurance.
So I was having to police the chat. This guy, Wesley, he came into my Bible study and started creating issues. So I just seen him popping up in here, so I just had to take care of him right quick. He's always talking about stuff like he's always like talking like I say some things that I've never even said, and I have no idea what he's talking about, and I think he's losing his mind, poor guy. Maybe he should be quiet and listen instead of trying to talk all the time.
So here's a couple numbers that match everything I'm talking about. As I just said, his business partner, Bernard, 1977. Together they bought a number of Midtown buildings. And you go down here. He owns office buildings on 150 Greenwich and 175 Greenwich. All right. So there's 175 again.
Yeah. You got your 15, you got your 58.
So this is the building that he owned and he rebuilt. Number 7. World Trade 7. Okay, developer Larry Silverstein signed a $3.2 billion 99-year lease on New York's those two pillars 6 weeks before.
So you got 23 for the 3.2.
Yep.
You got your 99 and 6 weeks. So there's your 666, man.
Yep.
You can't make this stuff up. You just can't.
You can't. You can't. This is all a mega ritual, and this is exactly what is repeating right now.
Yeah.
Well, Jay just went in depth about the horses.
Yeah.
He did not point out enough of the numbers to show you that this is all to keep people asleep, like you said. This was a huge mega ritual. It was a sacrifice of the towers. So American businessman Larry Silverstein recounted to the Israel television network how he had purchased the Freemason pillars just 7 weeks before. So he keeps changing it, but it's still an adequate number, you know?
Yeah.
So then in today, fine-tuning this, I see this ad from today. 2 different reports, one Yahoo News Canada and our special USA Today, both saying that this guy did not collect on the Key Bridge collapse. Exact same person.
Didn't trillions of dollars disappeared from Building 7 on that day?
In gold, yeah.
Yeah, I heard, what's that judge? He's like the head Supreme Court justice. What is his name? I heard that he took like most of it.
Oh, yeah. There was definitely reports back in the day. A lot of it disappeared, but there was earth-moving dump trucks that were actually in the basement of the building, right? And the huge vault that was in the basement, the door was open. And, such a powerful, after excavating, they could see that it was opened, not smashed open or blown open. So that is where the whole theory that it was emptied and why it was tied to trucks leaving was not only did they see trucks leaving, but one of the trucks as it was being attacked or bombed got stuck in the foundation of the building in the middle of it shifting around, and there was leftover riches in the dump truck. But yeah,
Yeah,
it
John
was
Roberts.
theoretically the biggest gold heist in America.
Yeah, and his name is Roberts. Chief Justice John Roberts.
Chief Roberts, right.
Yeah, I heard he made off like a bandit.
So in Silverstein, he collected.
Oh, and look, he's the 17th Chief Justice. Go figure. Go figure, man. This stuff is
The
crazy.
foundations of Freemasonry is the 2 great pillars, Boaz and Jachin. Right? That's the 2 pillars at the entrance of Solomon's temple.
Yeah.
And puts a whole new meaning to this, right? Those 2 Boaz and Jachin pillars,
Yeah.
being sacrificed in front of Solomon trapezoid, little table's temple, right? Bear witness
Yeah, and
by the light bearer himself, herself.
that's like a boy. This is like reminding me of so the Freemasons, and I saw this a lot in a cemetery when I was out in the Midwest. But they have, not only do they have the two pillars, but they also have broken pillars as symbolism.
They do. I've seen that on gravestones as well.
So I'm looking up right now what it means, that broken pillar, because when the tall boys came down, those would be broken pillars, right? In a sense. Of course, now my computer doesn't want to load it. It's always doing this to me, man.
Yeah. Mine's starting to lag a little bit, but yeah. Broken.
The broken column. It's an important symbol associated with... Oh, look at that, dude. Oh, my goodness. You can't make this stuff up, bro. The broken column is an important symbol of Freemasonry, often associated with the death of Hiram Abiff.
Yep, and that's exactly what this was. It was. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I mean this is. It was a mega ritual.
Yeah.
A sacrificial ritual.
Yep. That's crazy, man.
I'm starting this up, so.
What's that?
Yeah, so it puts a whole. Oh, there was another thing I didn't get in here. There's a picture I wanted to show you too that goes along with the symbolism and Freemasonist symbolism. Let me see if I can find it real quick. You ever notice the buildings around those two pillars in that city?
Say that again.
There's 3 buildings around the 2 tall boys. And they have tops on them.
Yeah, you'll have to show me what you're talking about.
Of course, it's not going to jump right to it. Last time I typed it in exactly the same way, and it gave me the picture. Now I'm in Egypt.
Maybe if you put like New York in there.
Yeah.
Just add like NYC or something to your search.
Yeah.
Just type NYC after the tall boys there. Are you talking about Trump Tower?
So there's 3 buildings right next. I think so. One of them has a complete dome. The other one has a pyramid, and the other one has a finished pyramid with the Ben stone on top.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you can see it in this. You see it?
Yeah.
So not only was this was all ritual in front of the light bearer, but it was symbolic, the trapezoid, the dome, the pyramids, the steps. These are all symbols in Freemasonry.
Is that what the One World Trade Center looks like from the ground?
With this one?
So the top row on the right. It looks like a giant pyramid.
Yeah, looking up?
Yeah. Doesn't that look just like a pyramid?
Yeah, yep.
That's crazy. Wow, dude, I've never ever noticed that. Oh my goodness, dude. That's crazy, right?
Look out. This is the step pyramid, and then the top is your capstone.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. I've done so much on those buildings, dude, but I never noticed that. That's crazy.
Yep. That's 1776 right there, pyramid. Yeah, so it wasn't what we've all been led to believe from that day. It was a planned mega ritual.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
And golf, in symbolism, in numerology.
That's what I was telling people, right back to the dark crystal and stuff, right? So, and binary code, right? We watched the 2 become 1, right? The 2 tall boys became 1 uniboy, right? A boy girl, right? And that's exactly when the trans movement started. That's exactly when
It is.
binary code changed into quantum computing. So instead of being binary, zeros and ones, it's now, it can be anything.
Both.
Right. This
Yep.
huge spell took place and the whole world changed. People became quantum,
world.
computers became quantum, and what all quantum is the demonic realm. That's tapping into to the demonic realm.
It was from the very cornerstone being set 60 years before that day for the Pentagon. It was all planned.
Yeah.
And that person making the phone calls, who's married to a 5-star general in that 555 building, was planned on.
Yeah.
All of it. Including the iconic picture of the upside down man. Do you remember that picture?
The upside down man.
The people who were so scared of their lives jumping out of the top.
Oh yeah.
And he's immortalized, frozen in an upside down position, right?
Yeah.
Which apostle said to the Romans that he was not good enough? You're going to hang me upside down, crucify me upside down.
That was Peter. Yeah.
Right? It puts a whole new meaning to that upside down man, right? Not only was a huge ritual engulfed in symbolism with shapes and numbers, but they were mocking apostles.
Right. That's why they do Pete's Dragon, Peter Pan. That's
Peter
why
Pan.
they always use the name of Pete in reference to Satan and his demonics, Dude, I gotta show you something.
Absolutely.
Let me see if I can fire this up real quick, because I haven't really made it, and I wasn't gonna make like a video. Oh, it's popping up right over your face. Sorry.
Not that pretty anyway.
I'm gonna move it as soon as the app starts, but it takes a second to boot up.
That's fine. I'm gonna have to look at my screen. I don't see it on mine, so I'm gonna watch.
No, I'm gonna put it on I'm gonna share screen.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just trying to get it open first so I don't have to bore everybody with the with all this stuff, because it's pretty crazy. So let me undo this, because I gotta walk you through how I got here. Alright, so let me do this. Oh, hang on. Sorry, everybody. I'm just, winging it. Okay.
We do that.
So I'll do this. Alright, so I want to show you something. I saw this. I did not find this. Okay, I'm just going to be straight up. I saw this. Let's see if I can figure out how to share. Present. I just want to share a window. And it should be pretty easy. Yeah, here we go. Watch this. Allow. So, I'm going to share. Here we go. So, yeah. Let me zoom out a little bit. Or you know what? Let me blow it up. Boop. Yeah, now we got a good view. Let me shrink it a little bit. All right. So, this is the Earth, right? The globe.
Globe model.
So what I did was I cut half of this and took a copy, see? So I got half of the Earth. See, I just cut it in half. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this thing in half. This way, right? And I'm going to bring it over here.
Oh my.
Now I'm going to connect this, and I'm going to flip it upside down. Wait till you see this, dude.
Oh my goodness. It goes both.
Look at that, dude. You got your pyramid. You got your goat head. You got your fallen angel with the wings.
Mm-hmm.
And look right here. Looks like a little alien head, right?
It does look like alien head on the dollar bill alien.
Yeah, yeah. Total Satan right here, right for everyone to see, right in the earth, with his little pyramid. Here's the horns, right? Straight up, dude. Fallen angel wings. Isn't that wicked, bro?
Wow. Yeah, you can't make that up. That same thing happens when you take not Da Vinci. I've mentioned before. He's the one that painted Jesus, the Prince, whom Jesus is liking, or Jesus and the Prince is liking.
Yeah, the photo of Jesus.
Yeah, I think you did it in one show where you took half and half of the painting they made, and Jesus becomes. But flip your picture back the way you had it.
Oh, sorry. Hold on a sec. Yeah, hold on a second. Sorry. I was jumping the gun. Yeah, I did also the same thing with the statue on the stage of the Vatican.
Yes, that is where it is.
So you want it just upside down?
Yeah, go back the original way you had it. Yeah, you can still see here. So here's two eyes, right? And then a mouth kind of looks like a frown. And it looks like the coming out of the cheeks instead of the head, the horns. I think it works both ways. It does. That's exactly what I see. Yeah, with the human face and the nose right here. Wow. Anyways. That's really crazy. So yeah, all of it's on purpose. You think it's mishaps or coincidences, but I don't believe in any of that. The more I dig it, the more I read. But no, thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. So that's the like the people's room or whatever in the basement, right?
Oh,
That looks like.
How long have I been silent? Oh, I forgot. Like when I flip the thing over, it's the same exact keystrokes as it is to
Oh, so you silenced
to go back
yourself?
a step. So I silence myself. So
So repeat that. Tell them where that.
Oh yeah,
picture
that's
is.
right. So if you want to see the picture of where I did the mirror of the Vatican stage, it's in the video called Lucifer's Legions, where I dissected the Catholic religion along with the nation that shall not be named, along with their faith. But yeah, that's a good video too. So you should just check it out if you haven't seen it. But yeah, that's where I did the statue on the stage, and that was just crazy.
That is a crazy statue.
Yeah, I can't believe they're like, it's Jesus at the nuclear holocaust. It's like, what? That's ridiculous.
Nothing about that. That's Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, well, that was my presentation. And I hope that as much as I bounced around and all the information I threw out there, that you could pick up what I was trying to lay down.
No, it was good, man. Definitely
with
good.
all that said, thank you again for having me. Really appreciate it. Feels good to get one of these out again. It's almost become a fellowship and therapeutic,
Yeah,
So,
man. It's always a pleasure to have you on,
Yeah, and we'll. You mentioned maybe doing in between the bi-weekly week doing like a news thing like we did the last bi-weekly show.
Yeah.
We start working on maybe planning on doing that. I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, if you got the time, bro, I'd love to have you on. I mean, I don't do anything besides work and make videos. So, yeah, if you got the time and you want to do it, I think that would be great, and I think people would really respond well to it. Plus, it would also get people in the habit of coming here on Wednesdays. You know what I mean?
Right. And I agree with that. I think that's great. And plus, it gives us, maybe we could do a couple of new shows, give me more time in between. I'm trying to cram.
Yeah.
A lot of, in my normal life, try to cram to make it presentable and kind of understandable, just because I can go 9 different places throughout the world with my computer and make connections doesn't mean you guys can't see it. You know what I mean? I never realized how many different things I will piece together until I try explaining them to somebody, and they're like, you're out in left field.
Yeah. I hear you. It's not easy making videos and doing presentations for people, because you never know, like, what they're going to pick up on, what they're not. Are they going to miss something? Like, that's what I was, like, really worried about with this last video. I'm like, I jumped around so much, and there was just so much to it that I was like, oh, is this going to make sense? Like, does it make sense to me?
I'll come back sometimes and I'll like spend an hour thinking that what I worked on the last 2 days wasn't going to make sense. And then I just get distracted. And I feel like my influences is purposely distracting me. You know what I mean? And then I wind up mangling it all up and I have to rework it. But
yeah.
But either way, we do spit out a lot of information in our individual presentations where it's definitely a watch twice and pay attention.
Yeah.
And we do either way. So again, it's good to be here. It's good to get this done again. And I enjoy my time with you, Jay, and everybody who tune in and listen and tried to, focus on what we're saying. I greatly appreciate your fellowship and you being here too.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
With that said, everybody stay vigilant and God bless.
You too, brother. Talk to you soon. God bless. All right, guys. Well, that is the show for this evening. I appreciate all you guys tuning in and showing Franz your support. He's always got some interesting things to share, and I really enjoy his presentations, and I'm glad that his show's catching on and people are starting to watch because he has good information to share. And in case you guys don't know what he was talking about, last week we just kind of freestyled where we went on and we're talking about news and what was going on in our current times. And so I had reached out to him and asked him if on the opposite Wednesdays of the show, if he would like to do something along that kind of show where we would just cover current events and kind of just go through them live on the fly. And so that's what he's talking about. It seems like he's interested in doing that. So you may be seeing shows coming every Wednesday from me and Franz at some point very soon. So that would be great. And then that will keep us all up to date with the news. And of course, it's always interactive. So if you guys know of things that are going on in the news, then you can share them with us and we can look them up right on the fly. That's exactly how I was able to do the video that I just put out, was people sharing with me. I had no idea about the horses. I did see about the Marmari guy, but I didn't know about the Big Ben. People brought those things to my attention. So it was only through people sharing these things that I was able to know about them, to look into them. So thank you all for those of you who shared this stuff with me. I appreciate it. And yeah, got another video I'll be working on. So hopefully that will be out pretty soon. I'll try to get it out this week before the Bible study, but we'll see what happens. And either way, I will see you guys this Saturday night for those of you who tune into the Bible study. And until then, thank you for coming. I appreciate you guys' support. Appreciate all you guys in the chat room. Hope to see you on Saturday and back here again when Franz goes live. So until then, you guys, take care. Be safe out there, and God bless.